coming on the air with breaking news about what the FBI calls a targeted terror attack in Boulder, Colorado. Police say the call came in as a man setting people on fire. The victims, according to the local Jewish community, were walkers raising awareness for the Israeli hostages in Gaza. This is all happening in downtown Boulder in a shopping area, usually a busy one, called Pearl Street Mall. Police say they have a suspect in custody at the hospital. They just held a news conference. Let's go ahead and listen in.
Today I'm here to give you very preliminary information about an attack that occurred here in downtown Boulder at about 1:26 p.m. today. At that time, Boulder dispatch received several calls to the county courthouse located at 1325 Pearl Street here in Boulder. The initial callers indicated that there was a man with a weapon and that people were being set on fire. The initial response by our officers, we were on scene very quickly. When we arrived, we encountered multiple victims that were injured with injuries consistent with burns and other injuries. While our officers and paramedics and fire department personnel got those victims quickly to the hospital, our officers were pointed out, a suspect was pointed out to our officers on the scene. Our officers immediately encountered that suspect who was taken into custody without incident. That suspect, who I'm not able to ID at this time, was taken to the hospital with some minor injuries as well. And there's a lot more we're investigating right now before I'm able to release information on that person. The scene itself is contained, but we have a large area here in downtown Boulder closed off right now. Businesses have been closed, and we have asked people to avoid the area. This area is not safe yet. We're dealing with a vehicle of interest. We're dealing with a large area that we are making sure it's safe before we allow people to come back into the scene. If your vehicle is here in the several block perimeter that we have, please follow our social media. We will announce when the roads are open and people can retrieve their vehicle as well. I appreciate everyone's patience as we work through this complex scene. What I will say lastly is this was a beautiful Sunday afternoon in downtown Boulder on Pearl Street, and this act is unacceptable. I hope you'll join me this evening as we're working through this investigation. We are working, I just came from the command post. We've got dozens and dozens of people here, our state, local, and federal partners, working through this to figure out exactly what happened. I ask for a little bit of patience as we do that, but also I ask that you join me in thinking about our victims, the families of those victims, and everyone involved in this tragedy. Our hearts go out to them, and we are going to do everything we can to work as hard as we can throughout the evening to provide more information and get answers for everyone. With that, as I stated, it would be irresponsible for me to speculate right now on motive and other things. I will take maybe a handful of questions, but then I've got to go back to a briefing.
I had a quick one.
Yes, Shaw.
Was an actual protest going on when this occurred? Were a group of people gathered and were words said that would indicate this had anything at all to do with that protest?
So what I will tell you, on Pearl Street, it's a walking pedestrian mall downtown here. There was a lot of people out. Very beautiful day. There was a group of pro-Israel people that were there in a peaceful demonstration. I wouldn't even call it a protest. I believe that happens frequently down here. They were there in that area. We are looking and actively interviewing victims and witnesses to determine if that group was targeted or others, and we just don't have those answers yet. Those are things we hope to be able to provide you later this evening.
FBI is already calling it a targeted terror attack.
Mm-hmm.
Would you also refer to it as a terror attack?
So I've been in contact with our local FBI multiple times. We are in contact with them here. We are not calling it a terror attack at this point. Again, it's way too early to speculate motive. I know there's a lot out there on social media, but I ask people just to give us a little bit of patience while we work through a really complex scene. A lot of witnesses were here. We've taken them to another location to debrief them and interview them. As we do that, I think the picture will become more clear. But it would be irresponsible for me to speculate on motive this early on. We're only a couple hours into this thing.
Was something wrong?
I'll go right here.
About the suspect, can you confirm the description about him? Because we know any picture running in social media.
I haven't seen it, and I wasn't here when he was arrested. All I know is it's an adult male. We're working to identify that person. We're working to figure out where they're from, and we're in contact with our federal partners as well as we figure that out.
Was something thrown at the group?
That is being investigated as well. So our initial call, as I mentioned, was a report that someone was setting people on fire. That is fairly consistent with the injuries that we found on scene, but we're not 100% certain how that happened, and that's what we're doing to interview. There's a lot of witnesses that we're interviewing. I suspect within this evening, I suspect we'll have a better idea of exactly how those injuries occurred.
Are you guys going to have additional security for Jewish and Israeli people helping with the hostages in the circle right now? Because this is a weekly occurrence, are you guys going to now have some additional security measures to protect Jews in Boulder?
So what I will say is, again, I cannot confirm right now that this was targeted at a specific group of people. We understand that there's a lot of tensions right now and a lot of issues in the United States and everywhere. Once we have a clear motive, we will react accordingly. And if that motive was a group was targeted, we will absolutely step up and ensure that additional security, additional presence. We want people to feel safe no matter what they're here for.
How many people were injured?
I don't have an exact number. What I will say is multiple. I can confirm that Boulder Community Hospital received multiple patients, and some of those patients were transferred to other hospitals. Right now, we have detectives working to find out specifically the number. Again, hopefully later this evening we'll have an exact number. Right now, I'll just say multiple. I take one more question.
Any life-threatening injuries?
I believe so. What I'm being told is there are a range of injuries from very serious to more minor. And again, I just am. My heart goes out to those victims, and we're keeping them in our thoughts, prayers, and minds as they recover. I got to go back to the command post.
Take this call. And I'll tell you that we are going to have another update later tonight. We will post that out and we will live stream it as well. So follow our social media for the next update. We will have another update for you this evening. Thank you.
Their closures to other businesses, or is it for different businesses?
We will put that out if we do. Right now we just have these. So thank you. We will put out when we have another update tonight.
All right, you just heard the latest update from the Boulder, Colorado police chief, who briefed us on this situation, this attack that happened this afternoon in Boulder, Colorado, along a very busy, typically busy anyways, Pearl Street. Anyone who knows that area knows that there's usually a lot of shops, restaurants, people out and about on what he described was a beautiful day. Multiple injuries ranging from serious to more minor, and a suspect in custody. Here's a little bit of what we heard, right? This happened this afternoon. Police responded to reports of a man with a weapon that was setting people on fire. And the injuries that were seen upon police showing up were consistent with what they saw, what they heard, which were several burns, people taken to the hospital, multiple people with injuries. Police don't have a specific number just yet, but those who are injured are now being treated at the hospital. The suspect was pointed out at the scene, according to authorities. That suspect is also now in custody. Officials say the suspect is an adult man, but they haven't identified him yet. And they also, as far as the local level goes, they haven't described this as a terror attack. The FBI has. The local police are asking for a little bit more patience. They say that it's too early to know exactly what the motive was here, but the local Jewish community is saying that it was happening as people were gathering and rallying for the Israeli hostages that are still being held in Gaza. This is a breaking news story. We will continue to monitor the events as they happen and bring you the latest as they develop.
Stay.
Alcohol, but what he did was he made it look like he was here. He's making Molotov cocktails. Well, we can't do it when he's got Molotov cocktails. Where you?
The FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism. Sadly, attacks like this are becoming too common across the country. This is an example of how perpetrators of violence continue to threaten communities across our nation.
Let's talk about the terrorist attack that went down in Colorado. This is the second major attack in 2 weeks. Nothing sums up more what the left stands for than this photo right here. This is just as powerful as the photo of Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. A pride flag, a Molotov cocktail, and somebody screaming free Palestine. Oh, you just checked every box, didn't you? This fuck nugget is Mohammed Suleiman. Yes, he was here illegally. He come in under the Biden administration. So my flabber is fucking gasted. On a B2 visa, basically a tourist visa. That expired, he got a work permit, and that expired in March of 2025. This community was doing a regularly scheduled peaceful protest, something the left knows nothing about, run for their lives walk. It's to bring awareness and call for the release. Israeli hostages still remaining in Gaza. The vast majority of these people were elderly. He had a flamethrower, petrol, Molotov cocktails, started throwing them at people, screaming free power. And what you know, the news last night was saying this.
He's a white male.
He's a white male.
He's a white male.
It's almost like the narrative is ingrained in them. The FBI immediately called it a terrorist attack. What did Boulder police call it?
I'm not calling it a terror attack at this point. Again, it's way too early to speculate motive.
A man named Mohammed barely speaks English well. Here illegally attacks the Jewish community. Sees people on fire with incendiary devices, screaming free Palestine, and the motive is not yet clear. The hell y'all need? A fucking crop circle? Do I need to go take over Boulder, Colorado? I have these things called eyes and they fucking work. My spongy cabbage up here works too. Unfucking believable. 8 people were injured. 6 went to the hospital. The ages are 52 to 88. Mohammed Suleiman was arrested and he's been held on a $10 million bond, being charged with multiple felonies and 2 counts of first-degree murder. Nobody knows what that's about yet because as far as we know, nobody's passed away. So that's sus. His home has been raided by the FBI. No word on what they found and he's going to court today. Now, some of these victims are in critical condition. Had it not have happened right at this water fountain located here on Pearl Street, the situation would have probably been a lot worse because this is how they put them out. My nurse brain is screaming, oh, the bacteria. But you know, it's better than melting to the concrete. Eyewitnesses say some of the people's skin was completely melted off their legs from their ankles to their butt. Here's what leaders of the left had to say. Our thoughts are with the families. Extreme Hakeem, our thoughts and prayers. This one didn't say shit. She just posted about Pride Month. Well, I guess you got it. And so far, that's all we know. Now, I got thoughts on this. First thing, the only thing the Democratic leadership should be saying, I'm sorry, I caused this with my fucking rhetoric. Here's my resignation. So if you ain't gonna say that, shut the F up like you ain't never shut the F up before. Put your thoughts and prayers back in your nightstand. Second thing, these extremists have to go. And we all need to get on board with this. Tom Homan needs to crank up the action. Next thing, this shit cannot be condoned and it can't be allowed to happen here. Fucking period. At this point, every person in America that screams free Pally should be put on the FBI watch list. Nobody knows how radicalized you have fucking become. I said what I said. This shit is unacceptable. At this point, terrorists are hiding in plain fucking sight. It's all happening under the nose of the Democratic Party. The end.
There's more news about the terror attack in Colorado. This just keeps getting worse. The people that he attacked while yelling free Palestine were people that were protesting about the hostages being held by Hamas. Yes, this piece of shit from Egypt that overstayed his fucking visa in the United States decided to attack people that were protesting about the people that were still being held hostage by the terrorist organization Hamas in Palestine. Or Gaza, who gives a fuck, same shit. But now you got all the apologists. They were trying to say, oh, he was a white guy. No, he was a pasty-ass Egyptian that overstayed his fucking visa, attacked people that were in protest of Hamas, and he came out in support of Hamas, yelling, what? Free Palestine. Just like the motherfucker just did in New York when he took out the 2 Jewish couple. That's fucking fucked up. To sit here and act like this is not a terrorist organization in support of terrorists, when a fucking Hamas supporter yelling free Palestine attacks people that were protesting about the people that were being held by Hamas, it's time to put an end to that fucking goddamn free Palestine bullshit. Oh, did I mention that he had a makeshift flamethrower too? But I'm sure free Palestine movement is innocent, right?
I'm telling you right now, we are in the end time. There was an Egyptian man in Boulder, Colorado throwing Molotov cocktails at people. 4 people were women, 4 of them were men between the ages of 52 and 88. And 1 is in critical condition. Mohammed Suleiman was reported yelling things like free Palestine and end Zion. What happened to ignoring things or people that we don't like? I don't like Brussels sprouts. So you don't see me burning down every grocery store that has Brussels sprouts in it. I just don't buy them.
Mohammed Solomon overstayed his visa, and this is what happens. This is just another reason why we need to make sure all these immigrants are vetted the correct way. We need to make sure that they're not coming in here illegally or overstaying their visas. And there is reasons for that. Mohammed Solomon was throwing Molotovs and holding onto a spray bottle and using it as a flamethrower. He started 4 women and 4 men on fire, and these people were 60 to 88 years old. It has been reported that he arrived in 2022 at LAX, and he was supposed to leave in 2023. Well, he did what most illegal immigrants do here, and they overstay their visa. This cannot be tolerated. We need to get these people out of the country, or things like this happen.
So in Boulder, Colorado, they had what the FBI are calling a terrorist attack. You heard what I just said? They're saying that a man allegedly was setting people on fires with Molotov cocktails. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. This is crazy. This is crazy. You hear that?
He's making Molotov cocktails.
So apparently this guy was yelling, Palestine is free and end Zionists. And while doing and saying all of this, allegedly he was setting people on fire. Now, mind you, this happened at a pro-Israel walk called Run for Their Lives. And apparently this pro-Israel walk rubbed him the wrong way. And we all see the aftermath of that. So the FBI are treating this situation just like a targeted terror attack. And that man is arrested right now. And of course, the FBI is investigating why this happened or if there was any other people involved. Please be safe out there. Pay attention.
Mohammed Solomon planned the attack on 6/1/2025. It was driven by his anger towards Israel. Mohammed left his iPhone 14 with a message on it for his wife and 5 kids. Mohammed went to downtown Boulder, Colorado with a homemade flamethrower and Molotov cocktail. He attacked peaceful demonstrators at a Jewish event to support Gaza hostages. 12 people were injured in the attack. Mohammed yelled, "Free Palestine." Mohammed told the FBI that he wanted to unalive Zionist people, in which they were unalived. He held back the attack because he waited for his daughter to graduate high school. Mohammed faces federal hate crime charges and state charges. Mohammed was born in Egypt and lived in Kuwait for 17 years before entering the U.S. Mohammed tried to come into the U.S. in 2005. He was denied the visa. He entered the U.S. in 2022 as a non-immigrant visitor, and in 2023, he received a 2-year work authorization that expired in March. Muhammad was a driver for Uber, and now they banned his account. Muhammad researched on how to make Molotov cocktails on YouTube. He researched about the group that became his target online. Muhammad took concealed and carry classes and learned to shoot a gun. As a non-citizen, he was blocked from purchasing a gun. Muhammad purchased the ingredients for a Molotov cocktail glass or bulb jars, constructed them, then went to a gas station and purchased gas. He filled up a backpack weed sprayer with gasoline. Before he left his house, he left an iPhone 14 hidden in a desk drawer, messages for his family with a journal. As the group marched on 6/1/2025, Muhammad waited nearby with a utility vest on. Muhammad then attacked and severely burned multiple marchers. Police found a plastic container holding at least 17 unlit Molotov cocktails. After Muhammad was arrested, his wife brought the iPhone 14 phone to the police station. Muhammad does not have any criminal record. Muhammad told police that he hated the Zionist group. He said he needed to do this to stop them from taking over our land, aka Palestine. This world is wicked and it's going to get even worse.
Breaking news, there has been a terrorist attack in Boulder, Colorado at a pro-Israel protest. This is the man who threw a Molotov, which are these things in his hand, at a bunch of pro-Israeli people. Mind you, some of those little kids. I've seen so many different videos and so many different angles, and this guy was egging it on the whole entire time. And then it got to a point to where he just threw them at the protesters. One of the posts say that reports of an attack against a pro-Israel protest in Boulder, Colorado, allegedly a Molotov cocktail thrown with multiple unalived. This comes on the same day the media spread you can't say that word, libel. And then the Jews are not safe in America right now. Here's a little bit of the video of the aftermath and some of before. Stay. Probably can't show anymore because y'all know how TikTok is, but y'all heard those screams. People burning in agony because of this man right here. As I get more news, I will update y'all. As of right now, just prayers to the people that have been affected and to the families that have been affected and to the lives that have been lost. And there were kids involved. I don't know if I said that before.